Welcome, here I've got HUAWEI Mate 10 Pro and let me show you how to use Camera Pro Mode at this device. So let's start by tapping on Camera button to open it, and for now we are on Standard Photo Mode. Let's change it by using this settings bar and just simply going to right to Pro. Here we are. This mode gives us possibilities to choose some shooting parameters by ourselves. This is useful when we want to learn photographic skills or making experiments with photography. So let me start with this settings bar. Let's go from the right. The first one option here we can manage is white balance, so the temperature of our picture, and it depends from the light we have in the area where we take a photo. So we can pick here between ready lights and the first one is the cloudy light, then white fluorescent light, tungsten light and the daylight. When we tap to the last one button on this another settings bar, we get access to extra slider, and here we can manage our white balance in Kelvin degrees. So by going to left we can make it more cold, by going to right we can make it more warm. So this is kind of balance between warm and cold tones of our photo, the blue and orange light. And of course, when we want to move back to auto white balance, we have to simply tap on the button from the left with AWB. Now let's move to the next one option. Here we have focusing. We are on autofocus with continuous shot. The autofocus is also available with single shot, so you can pick one of two. And we can go also to MF from manual focus, so we can now focusing easily by using the slider. Now let's move back to autofocus, for example with continuous shot, and let's go to the third option, the exposure compensation. Here we can manage the light in some basic way. So by going to the right on the slider, we can make our picture more bright. By going to the left, we can make it more dark. At the center we have 0 parameter, so there's no problem to go back to auto exposure compensation. Now let's go to the next one option, the shutter speed. So we can change the time of taking photo. We can make it shorter by using the settings bar and going to left from 1 and 4,000 of second. And this is really short time. It should be definitely better to objects, for example in move, to frozen them at the picture with a good light. By going to the right we can make time much longer to 30 seconds. So this should be better to objects that are stable, or if we want to have some blur at our picture. And as you can see, this is how to manage this. To go back to auto shutter speed, we have to simply tap to A letter button from the left. Now let's move to the next one option, the ISO. So we can change camera sensitivity to light, and we can make it less sensitive here from 50 or more sensitive to 3 and 2000. I think this is wide choice, like this type of camera, it's really professional here. And we can of course easily go back to auto ISO by tapping again on A letter button from the left. But I want to show you here that when we adjust ISO and shutter speed together, we can manage the light of our picture. So this option with exposure compensation does not work. As you can see, we can change this, but nothing happens, because when we adjust ISO and shutter speed together, as you can see, we can manage in really advanced way the light, so we don't need this button. So if you want to use this basic light management, you have to stay on auto settings with these two parameters, and now it works. And let's move to the last one option. Here we can pick the matte ring. We are on matrix. We can pick also center weighted and the spot one. So you can stay on whatever you need. And now I want to show you that when we go to right corner button, we can open camera settings. Most of them is also in standard photo modes, but in the Pro we have a few extra things here. So let me start with resolution. When we pick it, we get access to photo format with RAW, so we get access to saving our pictures not only in JPEG but in RAW. RAW is used by professional photographers to saving more details at the pictures and post-producing them in graphic programs. As you can see, by using the right button we can easily turn it on and off as we need. Now let me keep this turned off. Let's move back to this view and tap to horizontal level option. When we turn it on, we get access to this line at the center, and this is useful when we want to be sure that we hold our device steady when we need to take straight picture. So let me turn this off now, and let's move back to the camera to tap to eyeliner icon here. So as you can see here, we get access to short tutorial. We can learn from this, you can read about all of these parameters. I think this may be useful. And now let me use the settings to take a picture. Let me start with white balance, maybe the daylight, focusing. Let's leave exposure compensation and move to shutter speed, maybe here, and the ISO here. The metering, maybe the spot one. To see my photo, let's go to left, to the button that follows us straight to the gallery. So this is how it looks like. Of course it's not perfect, but I suggest you to making experiments with all of these settings and just have a good fun. Thanks for watching, subscribe our channel and leave the thumbs up.